Day 3. We are in Kyoto this evening, as we are for the next 2 nights, and I discovered there's about a grillion different varieties of Asahi, and I don't know what any of them are, so we'll see how Asahi Premium treats me this evening. It was 20 yen more than the other one. It's morning. We're in Nara.
Yep. Trying to find breakfast.
Yeah, we're trying to find breakfast. There was a cafe near the guest house, and we were like, oh, we'll go there. And they're not open, and they don't have posted hours. So now we're just trying to find a place that serves any kind of food. The same problem we had last night for dinner. Everything closed too early. Now everything doesn't open up until late. Let me tell you about breakfast. Breakfast is not really a distinct meal in Japan, at least not to the extent that we would understand it. They do have a traditional Japanese breakfast, but it's a multi-course sort of small portions thing. There's lots of fish involved. But if you're us looking for like toast and some coffee, there's not as many places that do that. But there are French cafes where we've eaten at several times when we were here last to get something approximating the breakfast that we are used to, which this morning was a croissant sandwich. It didn't look like a croissant, but I assure you it was, filled with egg and lettuce, and Kathleen had some giant pieces of toast. So if you're looking for what you would consider a more North American or I guess European breakfast, you will want to look for a French cafe, because again, a Japanese breakfast is a very different thing, and unless you know what you're getting into, you may be surprised by it. That was an efficient morning.
Yes.
We're on the train now.
Yes.
To Kyoto.
Yeah.
We checked out of our hotel at about 5 after 10, or checked out of our ryokan at 5 after 10, and the next rapid service to Kyoto left Nara at 10:24.
And so we walked right onto it. We rocked up to the station at 10:20, walked right through because Graham knows where he's going.
Flashed the JR pass because swag.
And now we're sitting. And now, of course, the train is not quite departing yet. So, I mean, God, no. We had all the time in the world.
We could have stopped at that massive 7-Eleven.
No.
Okay.
Probably not.
7-Eleven's a big deal in Japan, by the way.
Yeah, they're, like, classy.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is the hierarchy of Japanese convenience stores. If you need personal toiletries, you want to find a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, you got to get that Sevi.
If you want delicious bento boxes, you want to look for a Lawson. If you want anything else, you can go to like a Circle K, I guess.
Although you had last night you had an onigiri from Circle K. How was that?
That was actually surprisingly good, but I feel like just Japanese onigiri are surprisingly good.
It was, yeah. My Starbucks matcha latte drink it actually tasted exactly like a Starbucks green tea frappuccino. It was weird. It tasted exactly like that. Anyway,
we'll drink again.
In 45 minutes we'll be in Kyoto. Then we found ourselves in Kyoto Station, which is an amazing building. It is this phenomenally massive, open-air, futuristic-looking, almost brutalist architecture, but not quite. It's really fantastic of a train station. And then we proceeded to get lost. And we finally found our Kyoto Riokan. I say finally because, actually, let me preface by saying I don't like booking through third-party websites. That's going to be my excuse, and I'll stick to it. Basically, we went to one hotel that, as it turns out, owns the ryokan that we're staying at because it was their address on the booking confirmation.
And like 5 other ryokans.
Yeah, they own a bunch of ryokans. So it was their address because they're the central hub for it. We went there and it obviously was the wrong place. So then I put the name of the ryokan into Google Maps, but it turns out that wasn't the name of the ryokan, it was the name of the street, and there is a ryokan with that name on that street way back at the train station. So we walked 20 minutes up to a hotel, 15 minutes back down to the wrong ryokan, and then 15 minutes back up to the ryokan we're actually staying at, which is half a block away from the first hotel we went to, all while carrying our monstrous backpacks. That was embarrassing and miserable. The gentleman running the ryokan that we thought we were at, which was Ryokan Wakayama, and not the ryokan that we're staying at, which is merely on Ryokan Sato on Wakayama Street, was very friendly, took pity on us Kanadajins, and gave us some iced green tea, which was really nice. Oh. And we talked about how, we communicated about how Canada and Japan had just played in Women's World Cup. Japan had won, and they are on to the finals. So we said, go Japan, because it's them or the States. And the state, we don't necessarily care about the States. The States doesn't care about football, so now we're going to the cinema park. The historical accuracy is astonishing. Did I make you upset? Don't go. And he disappeared just as mysteriously as he had arrived. Now, at Beej's suggestion, we are at the Toei Studio Park
in Kyoto,
which is where Toei films a lot of their TV series, their period settings. And so they have entire streets here that are different
eras and stuff.
Different Japanese eras that they can redress and reuse over and over again for different things.
They have like a port.
The port is like not even as big as an Olympic swimming pool. But the sign.
No, the port is a pond.
Yeah, the sign says that they can put small boats in the foreground to add perspective.
And the point being, like, if you're just like, you could probably shoot it in such a way that it would be okay.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just sort of interesting. I like the house that, inside the house, there's like a floor at waist height, and above it is for shooting scenes that take place in the attic, and below it is for shooting scenes that take place in the basement, like in the foundations of the building. So the interior of the building is attic and basement.
But no actual interior.
Upstairs at the Toei Studio Park, they had a Sentai Museum for the Super Sentai shows, because Toei makes all the Sentai shows that we know in North America as Power Rangers, because they get licensed by Saban, and Saban reshoots a bunch of scenes with white people and uses the scenes where they're doing the cool kung fu and everything and turns it into the Power Rangers. But the Sentai shows had been going for many, many years since then, and they continue to.
Oh, Charlie Brown. Of all the Super Sentai teams, you're the Charlie Browniest. Charlie Brown.
Uh-huh.
This is Linus.
Yeah.
This is Violet.
Uh-huh.
Peppermint Patty.
Yeah.
None of the Peanuts girls are really into pink. So I'll say Woodstock.
And they had one little plaque that was all in Japanese that mentioned the Power Rangers that I assumed just said, ha ha ha, America, lol. I couldn't read it. But apart from that, there was no mention of Power Rangers anywhere. And they had what I know as the Red Ranger with the Tyrannosaurus head, and just a sea of all the... They had basically every Red Ranger, I'll say, Red Sentai guy. Dude, I asked you to come over because I know who you are, but who are all your friends? There's too many of you, it's unreasonable. They had that, and then they had the Toei Animation Museum with things like Fist of the North Star and Galaxy Express and Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon and Mazinger Z and Digimon and no things that you could buy. All of their... They had a very, very small Sentai store with like just the most recent Sentai stuff, and they had basically nothing for the anime. They had plenty of Hello Kitty stuff that you could buy, even though Hello Kitty isn't Toei. It seems like you can just license Hello Kitty, because there was Hello Kitty stuff in Nara that was like Hello Kitty dressed like a deer in Nara, and this was Hello Kitty dressed like a geisha in the Toei Studio Park. It seems like you can just be like, do merchandise of Hello Kitty at your attraction, which I guess is cool. But we were sort of like, I want to buy the stuff of all of your history. I want to buy the things that are the history of why you have this studio park and this museum. But I guess they're not popular, which is why there was tons of merchandise for Yokai Watch, which is coming out in North America very, very soon. Yokai Watch isn't Toei either, is it? But we did see what did they call it? The behind-the-scenes of directing a scene.
Yeah.
And it was a very, very sort of Disneyland kind of thing, with a director and 2 actors, the director also being an actor, doing a scene from a period piece. And it was actually super fun, and it was about 20 minutes long. And they were all very, very game for it. It was very silly, but I liked it a lot. What's better than a vending machine offering 100 yen on everything? Tall boys of Coca-Cola.
For 100 yen.
For $1.
Pretty good deal.
I'll take it. Alright, I don't know if this footage is going to come through because it's real dark. No. But can we talk for a moment about what we just paid for food? Dinner, which was huge. I had a massive katsu udon. Kathleen had a chicken and egg.
Oyakodon.
Oyakodon.
With miso soup and some pickles.
With miso soup and pickles.
Dinner set.
That was $14.
It was 15. It was $14.70.
True. It was $15 for the both of us. Then we went to the grocery store.
Because there's a 24-hour grocery store like up the street from our ryokan.
We got a loaf of bread, 2 apples, 2 yogurts for the morning, some marmalade, some butter, small marmalade, small butter, not like a full can.
No, I mean if we had
not like a big
portions, it would have been cheaper. Let's be honest here. We only want it for 3 days.
I got an apple strudel. Yep. Kathleen got a pudding.
Yep.
I got a beer.
Yeah.
$17. I thought we lived in a first world country. What are we doing wrong? The first time we came to Japan, now granted the exchange rate was a little different at the time, but the first time we came to Japan, people were like, oh, it's so expensive. It's not.
No.
It's not. You just have to not have, like, a Western food every day.
Yeah. And then you can eat as cheaply as you want.
Yeah.
Now here's the deal. I think what it is we were like this when we got to England too. British Columbia is a very expensive place to live, Graham.
Yeah, I guess so.
And it is expensive.
I guess. Hey, look, there's 2 cats. This tastes very similar to normal Asahi. I don't know if it's worth the extra 20 yen. I'm going to have to research different kinds of Asahi now. I want to find out what Asahi Clear is like. Y'all back off my marmalade now.